I want to welcome you to Late Night with Yaya Diamond, also Dream Chasers Radio, and we're in conjunction with so many different amazing partners. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today we have this just remarkable vocalist. I've followed her career since I could, Miss Angie Stone. I mean, in the 90s, she had her very first hit single, Funk You Up, and it was on the charts. It established her as a reckoning force in the music industry, and she's gone on to work with Alicia Keys and D'Angelo and Mary J. And I mean, come on now. I mean, I'm just excited to have her here. Thank you so much, Miss Angie Stone, for being on the show with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. And Funk You Up came out in 1979.
1979. Oh my goodness, they got this all wrong. Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's okay. Sequence was the first hip hop group to release a gold record, make a record, and to open the door for female hip hoppers around the world.
That is amazing. Wow, that is amazing. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I think that, when you have such an amazing career, it's just so remarkable. You don't even believe it. I mean, what do you think about your career today? I mean, you look back on it and what do you say?
Well, when I look back on it, it doesn't seem that long ago to me, but when you really look at it, it has really been a long time that God has kept me in the forefront of Angie Stone, of myself, because, to start out as Angie B, in a rap group, to prepare myself to an R&B singer, songwriter, a producer, to where I have a mentorship for other artists that are up and coming, is a blessing. And it's certainly, what has kept me going throughout these 40 plus years.
Yes, definitely. Back in 1979, I was 8. I was 8.
1970. You were just a baby.
I was a baby.
Yeah.
I was a baby.
I was 17 years young, and you were a baby.
I was a baby. I was definitely a baby. It's just a blessing to see that, you have this career. It inspires me to keep going. Oh, yeah. Come on. I mean, you're such an inspiration. What do you tell people when they say, hey, what did it take for you to do this? What was it? Was it a trick? What was it? Who was it?
Well, you know what? I'm a Sagittarius hate to flop. We hate to fail. So every time I met a roadblock over the years, I was determined to run that race like a hurdler. You've got to get over that hurdle. Mm-hmm. So no matter what, I would stop and start again if need be until I got it right. Whenever I felt myself needing a break, if I wasn't singing, I was trying my hand at acting. Mm. If I wasn't acting, I was trying my hand at rapping. If I wasn't rapping, I was trying my hand at writing. Mm-hmm. If I wasn't writing, I was trying my hand at producing. I never let any grass grow under my feet because I always challenged myself to do even better. So I made a promise to myself that my greatest competition was myself. I was always in competition with me and no one else because I never wanted it to be about me putting myself above or ahead of anyone else but Angie. Mm-hmm. So, I wasn't concerned about who had the hit today. My main concern was making sure that I had what I needed to make my new song greater than my old song. Yeah, definitely. Wow. That, that is just, it's amazing. It's just amazing I love your voice. I absolutely love what you've done. You're a role model to all Black women out there and that want to aspire. So definitely. In 2019, you released Full Circle. It was right before the pandemic. Tell me about that. And then what happened? And then today. Say the front part of that one more time.
So in 2019, you released the album Full Circle. It was right before
Full
the
Circle,
pandemic.
yes.
Right before the pandemic. And I was just kind of wondering, how did that go? Because we went right into a shutdown. And then now that we're out, what are you doing today?
Well, Full Circle, how I encompassed that album, it was basically me deciding that I wanted to get back to, I didn't want to experiment anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to show people or anyone that I had the ability to change, but that I was comfortable in my own skin. So I started to, feel like I wanted to record the things that made me happy, things that, like when I did my first album, when I did my second album, which was the favorite one, Mahogany. So I wanted to revisit that time. And so for me, it's like, okay, I've done everything that everybody else wanted me to do. Now, this is a full circle for me. So I want to get back to making the kind of music that makes me happy.
Right.
And I know it makes other people happy because, they let me know every time. And then, that's my favorite album. So, I had to go back and listen to Mahogany so to see what all the hoopla was about.
Yeah.
And, by golly, I understood
I hear that.
what they were talking about. Because once I listened to it, I said, okay, now I know what they mean.
It's wonderful to go back and actually grab a hold to what propelled you forward in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so what did you do during the pandemic? Because Full Circle came out and then boom, everything shut down.
Right. Well, when the pandemic hit, it was time to, as far as I was concerned, it was time for family.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this was the time that God gave people to reconnect with family. It was a time for people to really spend time together, learn how to live together again as a family, how to be connected as a family. So it wasn't a thing, we were all looking at the news, but, my family is very inquisitive. We wasn't believing all the hype. And so at one point, we were going, oh, come on, they're just trying to do this and trying to do that. But at the same time, we were all staying in the house. And I'm like, put your mask on because you can't be too careful. Yeah. But I think it was a time for family. So when the pandemic hit, I was kind of, in my space where, okay, I got my mom here, got my daughter, I got my son, I got my granddaughter, and I got my grandson. And then the worst thing happened, at Christmas one year, which was 2 years ago, I lost my mother. Oh. She got, she was the one that was mostly afraid of the pandemic. She didn't want to leave her house, but she came to my house for Christmas because that's our small family. I didn't have any siblings. So she came to my house and she got her head, she had vertigo, and we panicked a little bit and called the ambulance. And when she went to the hospital, that was the worst thing we could have done was send her to the hospital because they were throwing everybody on ventilators at that time, and she didn't need a ventilator, in my opinion. And I just think it was let's get all the Social Security money we can get back from the older people. Yeah. And my mom, she was the matriarch of our family, and about 12 days after she was there, she was dead. And it was something that shook us all up because they put my mom on the ventilator without us clearing it. And I think that was the beginning of the breakdown for me. I just went, bananas after that.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry
to
hear that.
When you talk about the pandemic, to me, the pandemic, in my opinion, the pandemic is, okay, let's push the button and make the world panic because, I mean, even though the pandemic is here now, there's not nearly enough, in my opinion, nearly enough frantic minds right now because it's like the pandemic doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
But a year ago, it was mayhem. And where did it just go? Did it just disappear? I mean, you couldn't go in the hospital. You couldn't, they locked everybody out while they took away your loved ones.
Hmm.
It was that part for me that did it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I lost
aside from being with my family,
yeah.
I lost family members.
I did too. Yeah.
To this dreadful situation.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, my dad died too during the pandemic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And that I know that feeling is horrible because my dad died first, and then my mom died. So now I'm the matriarch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. And so, we're out of this. We're on the other side of all the things in family. At least you were able to see this and be there for your family members, because I know that you travel a lot. I know that you're demanded on your career and your profession. And so I guess that was the moment that you needed to be there, and God knew it. Now that everything is outside of this and we are not panicking anymore and you're back at it, what's going on with your music now?
What's going on with some of the music?
Yes.
Well, right now I'm working on a Christmas album for next year. And I'm working back with some of my strongholds, like Juanita Wynn. She's one of my partners that I work with. Can you turn the heat on? It's freezing back here. The air on. Juanita Wynn, who's one of my writing partners, and I wrote a song this year that is now peaked us to do a Christmas album, which we're starting top of the year. It's the first time I pick a pen to, pen a song in a very long time, because I hadn't been in the mood to really write since my mom passed. Walter Millsap, Candace, Belewa, and those cats from the Clutch was really my team that's been helping me really get some phenomenal material done. But now I'm back. I'm back in the saddle to write, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah. I mean, as a mom myself, I would, if I were gone, I would definitely want my daughter to continue in the love that she had. You know what I mean? And in losing a parent, because that's what happened to me as well. My dad told me, "Don't you dare stop." And so I didn't. And hello?
I'm trying to check you up. Go ahead.
And I wanted to encourage you today to not stop, to keep going. And we love you. And we love your music, and we love your voice. And I know your mom did too. So
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
Not too hot.
Anytime. And so
I'm sorry.
I want to thank you so much for being on the show with us. Is there any encouraging words that you have for your fans today?
Yes, my word to the wise and the lost and the lonely. I mean, I would just tell all of my fans to follow God. I really want people to turn their focus into the spiritual world. I really think that they need to seek God in all things. That's important for me. If they're going to follow me, trust that I'm following God, then follow me there, because I really believe that a lot of people can get lost in music. A lot of people can get lost in celebrity, star status. Please don't let my level of status to diffuse this situation. I love Jesus and I want these people to make it in their heaven. So at the end of the day, I really want your focus to be there.
Definitely. Wow. Well, Miss Stone, thank you so much. Thank you. It's just been a pleasure.
All right, babe. Thank you so much. And you go ahead and do what you're going to do. Happy New Year. And I'm so glad that we finally got this interview done. Thank you.
Definitely. I am very, very happy. And if anything else you want to say at any time, you can always come on the show. You are always welcome.
I got your number.
Yes,
I got
ma'am.
you, boo.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Stone.
All right.
And thank you
Take
guys.
care.
You too. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Miss Angie Stone, ladies and gentlemen, she's amazing. Get her latest song. She's got Christmas songs coming out next year. You don't want to miss it. And she's an amazing person. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys. Bye.